As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 3 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoyed the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, and write us a review. Today's selection is from Surah 9, At-Tauba, verses 60 through 72. These verses concern categories of distribution for zakat, or compulsory charity, hypocritical actions and their punishments, and believers' actions and their rewards. Keep in mind that this is the only surah in which we do not begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, without further ado, in fact, the collection of charity is for the poor, the helpless, those employed to administer the funds, those whose hearts need to be won over to the truth, ransoming the slaves, helping the destitute who is in debt, in the way of Allah, and for the wayfarer. That is a duty enjoined by Allah, and Allah is all knowledgeable, all wise. There are some people among them who heard the Prophet through saying he is all ears, which means he listens to everyone. Say, it is good for you that he listens to what is best for you. He believes in Allah, has faith in the believers, and is a blessing for those of you who are true believers. As for those who hurt the messenger, they will have a painful punishment. They swear to you by Allah in order to please you. But it is more fitting that they should please Allah and His messenger if they are true believers. Don't they know that anyone who opposes Allah and His messenger shall live forever in the fire of hell? That surely is the worst humiliation. The hypocrites are afraid lest a surah be sent down among them, revealing to the Muslims what is in their hearts. Say, mock if you will, Allah will surely bring to light all that you fear. If you ask them, what were you talking about, they will promptly say, we were only just jesting and having fun. Say, what then? Were you mocking at Allah, His revelation and His Rasul? Make no excuses now. You have rejected faith after your belief, even if we may pardon some of you who were not serious in participating. We will punish others amongst you because they are criminals. The hypocrites, men and women, are all alike. They enjoin what is evil, forbid what is good, and tighten their hands from spending in the cause of Allah. They have forgotten Allah, so He has forgotten them. In fact, the hypocrites are transgressors. Allah has promised the hypocrites, both men and women, and the unbelievers, the fire of hell to live therein forever, a sufficient recompense. Allah has cursed them, and they shall have a lasting punishment. Your behavior is just like those who have gone before you. They were mightier than you in power, and more flourishing in wealth and children. They enjoyed their portion of this worldly life. Thus have you enjoyed your portion as did those before you, and you have entered into vain discourses as they did. Consequently, their deeds were fruitless in this world, and in the hereafter, and they are the ones who are the losers. Have they not heard the news of those who have gone before them, the people of Noah, Ad, and Thamud, the people of Ibrahim or Abraham, the men of Madian, and the cities which were overthrown? Their messengers came to them with clear proofs, but they did not listen. Allah did not wrong them, but they did wrong their own souls. The true believers, both men and women, are protectors of one another. They enjoin what is good and forbid what is evil. They establish prayers, pay charity, and obey Allah and His messenger. It is they on whom Allah will have His mercy. Surely Allah is mighty and wise. Allah has promised the believers, both men and women, gardens beneath which rivers flow, to live therein forever, and they will have beautiful mansions in these gardens of everlasting bliss. Best of all, they will have the good pleasure of Allah. Now that is the highest achievement. Ameen. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17, VERSES.com. Thank you, and be well.